Welcome back. Let's bring in our panel now. With us today, we have former state party chair for the Indiana Democrats, Robin Winston, former vice chair for the Indiana Trump campaign, Tony Samuel, former state lawmaker Terry Austin, and Purdue political science professor Dr. Martin Sweet. Thank you all for being here today. Martin, the White House marking their first 100 days this week back in the White House. Well, polls show the president's approval numbers continuing to slide amidst the uncertainty over his plan on tariffs. What stands out to you the most in these first 100 days?
It's got to be the border, right? The numbers are absolutely astounding what we'd seen. I mean, we were lied to for years, effectively, about the border being secure, and now the numbers have just a trickle of who's still coming in. The border was a promise made, promise kept. I think that's probably the most impressive thing he's done.
A lot of focus, though, obviously, on the economy. Terry, what's your view from across the aisle, and what do you want your party's approach to be when it comes to providing a different vision for the nation?
Well, I think more than anything, if I've learned anything from years in government, it's that the public hates chaos. They do not like a sense that government is unsettled or that there's rapid changes from one direction to the next. And I think that's what is unsettling for the economy. It's unsettling for business and industry. And even, voters are saying, what decision is going to be made or changed today?
Tony, at one point, polls showed the president with strong numbers when it came to the economy, but a new poll from Navigator Research this week showed just 40% of Americans approve of his handling of the economy. Another poll from the Public Religion Research Institute showed 52% of those surveyed said they felt the president was, quote, a dictator whose power should be limited. What do you make of some of those numbers?
Well, he's not a dictator. He's a president that made a lot of promises during the campaign trail because there were so many things that went wrong during the Biden years, and now he's acting on those very boldly, very decisively, very quickly. There's so much going on. It's not chaos, it's action. And he's a man of action. He made these promises. Now I agree with Martin. Look at what's happened on the border, on the economy and the tariffs. That takes time. It's only been a month, and yet we see trade deals that are going to start coming to fruition. Japan, South Korea, and India will be the first. And China is now even indicating they're open to trade talks. The stock market that everybody freaked out about when these tariffs, the universal tariffs were announced, is now halfway back. We're taking in more money from those tariffs, billions of dollars. We had a great jobs report in April that just came out.
And you think those polling numbers will bounce back too?
You know what, the polling numbers are because there's so much negative. There was a recent study that came out, 95% of stories from ABC, NBC, and CBS, the major networks, are negative towards Trump.
Robin, what's your response to that, and what are your thoughts on these first 100 days?
Wow, well, I think it's shock and awe. We got the shock. And then by about June, people are going to go like, oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Because I'm telling you, we've not seen the real impact of these things. We saw it in Kokomo, 900 people let go. We're hearing GM saying they're going to have a $5 billion loss. The stock market, while it is doing well, 54% of the American people do not have anything in the stock market, but they do want a good paying job, and those are moving further and further away. And then the other day at a press conference, the rhetoric was, well, maybe they don't need more than 2 dolls. I mean, I've never heard a president say that about anybody. We should be talking about rejuvenating our economy. So the shock has been seen. The all no will happen in June.
All right. We are also talking about everything happening at the state level this week, where Governor Braun held a press conference to talk about his first 100 days, but instead had to face a lot of questions about his lieutenant governor, Micah Beckwith, and Beckwith's controversial remarks, speaking approvingly of the 3/5 compromise by the founding fathers, which counted slaves as 3/5 of a person for the purposes of taxation and representation. Here's what Governor Braun had to say.
So, I definitely wouldn't have used that characterization, and I don't like it. I'm a believer that you better start thinking about what you're saying before it comes out. So I'll leave it at that.
Faith leaders also spoke out this week, calling on the governor to say more.
Micah Beckwith, with 10 toes down, standing on truth, you have disrespected us. And we do not appreciate it.
Governor Braun, these statements are made on your behalf by your lieutenant governor. We call on you to fully denounce them. With more than a passing, I definitely wouldn't have used that characterization, and I don't like it. Sir, that's not enough.
All right, a lot of reaction there. Martin, what do you make of this and what it says about the state of the relationship between the governor and the lieutenant governor right now? And does the governor need to say more about it? Does the lieutenant governor need to apologize for it?
Well, I think certainly we can disagree about sort of our take on history. I think quite clearly when I talk about the Constitution, we talk about that it was a compromise among many factions. No one got what they wanted. To call one compromise the great, I don't think that's really the way to go about this, and it sort of reifies this concept of slavery in this document that I think he's sort of overlooking, right? That document that we all salute today installed slavery in this country in many ways. You know, there's always been some difficulties between the governor and the lieutenant governor, right? This was not his choice for lieutenant governor, and I think that's sort of coming to fruition. I think voters probably in the end will probably forgive the governor, knowing that really was not his choice.
He didn't pick him. Yeah, Terry, we've seen Democrats, faith leaders, also the state libertarian chair this week condemning the LG's remarks along with the governor's comments on it this week. How do state lawmakers feel about all this?
Well, I think you heard Representative Cherish Pryor speak out about it. And quite honestly, it was more than disappointment. She was incredibly frustrated by his remarks and how he tried to brush it off with his post-remark comments. I think Democrats recognize that Micah Beckwith will continue to make comments like this throughout his tenure.
Yeah.
And it's a long time until the next Republican convention.
Tony, between this and the LG's comments on the property tax bill saying Braun should veto it, there certainly appears to be a good amount of tension between them here lately.
Yeah, you know, this is unfortunate. I think if you had to pick a loser for the legislative session, it would be Micah Beckwith. And that pains me to say because I was an early supporter, but I haven't been advising him at all during this legislative session. He's made one mistake after another. If he feels a certain way, okay, that's in his head. That's how he feels. But you've got to be politically smart to know when to speak, when to not to speak, when to take a win.
You don't think he needs to
just leave
post
things
all
there.
his thoughts online,
yes.
more or less, right? Robin, your thoughts here. You get the last word on this. What do you
Wish
make
we
of
had
the
an hour.
situation?
Thank you for saying that, Tony. This really rings deep and really affects me a lot because my foreparents and forefathers were slaves. We didn't get the right to vote. We didn't get the right to assemble. We didn't get the right to move around. So there's no vestige at all of that you can say was good, was great. Also, Indiana has a statue of Oliver P. Morton in front of its building where Indiana put a lot of troops into the Civil War to make sure that we did not have slavery and stood on battlegrounds across this country to fight for that. This is a continuation, Dan, of when you get rid of education, when you start getting rid of the need to talk about our history, when you try to take a big brush and whitewash it and get rid of history. All of us know that this is a very dark chapter in our history. We should illuminate it instead of just get rid of it.
Okay, we got to leave it there. The panel will be back in just a few minutes. Up next, from vaccines to funding for cancer research, we'll have more of Hannah Adamson's interviews outside the White House with the director of the National Institutes of Health. Stick around.